Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into something that's literally driving thousands of people across the globe to the Middle East, specifically, the booming migrant workforce in Dubai's security sector. With a rapidly growing skyline, the demand for security personnel in Dubai going into 2026 is massive. But what's the actual journey like for the workers who travel thousands of miles to secure these buildings? We're going to take a close look at the expectations versus the grounded realities of this profession.
Okay, here's our roadmap for today. We'll be looking at the Dubai security dream, the SIRA license gateway, surviving the physical and mental tests, the actual ground reality, and finally answering the big question, is it really worth it? Let's get right into it. Part 1, the Dubai security dream and the promises of a whole new life. So every year, thousands of international workers, especially from places like Nepal, are drawn in by a very specific, very powerful financial allure. Take a look at that 5,000 dirham figure. That is the top-end tax-free salary potential for a chief security officer over in Dubai. Now, to put that into perspective, entry-level guards usually start around 1,800 to 2,200 dirhams a month. For a lot of folks coming from abroad, that starting salary alone is, 3 to 4 times higher than what they'd make working similar jobs back home. It's a total game changer. But here's the thing, the salary is really just part of the pitch. Recruitment agencies paint this incredible picture of total financial security. We're talking promised perks like a 100% tax-free salary alongside totally free housing, free transportation, uniforms, and health insurance, all included. The dream they're selling is that with literally all your expenses covered, you could build a house or completely pay for your kids' education back home in just a couple of years. Moving on to part 2, the SIRA license gateway, the ultimate gatekeeper. Right, so before you can earn a single dirham and step into that dream, you've got to get past some major hurdles. In Dubai, that means passing through SIRA. They're the government body that licenses and controls the entire private security industry in the city. Getting their specific certificate is an absolute non-negotiable requirement for employment. You simply cannot work as a security guard in Dubai without it. And getting this license? Well, it's a pretty rigorous quest that takes several weeks. First up, you have to meet the basic eligibility, meaning you have to be between 21 and 65 years old with at least a 10th grade education. Then, you've got to clear an international background check. After that, there's a mandatory 40-hour training course. And finally, you have to pass both physical and written exams. Plus, on top of the massive time investment, just getting the individual certificate is going to run you between 400 and 600 dirhams. Which brings us to Section 3, surviving the physical test, the first real trial. Because passing that background check is really only the beginning. You face some intensely strict physical standards to prove your body can actually handle the job. Like, you have to pass a multi-stage endurance beep test just to proceed. Then they test your explosive power with horizontal jumps. And get this, you have to prove your strength and control by pushing and pulling a heavy sled, 30 kilograms for men, 15 for women, over 10 meters in a matter of seconds. Wrap that all up with a 35-meter sprint, and yeah, it is an intense full-body trial for sure. Part 4, acing the written exam, the mental trial. So once your body is tested, SIRA comes for your mind with a 60-question exam. And the stakes are super high here. You have to score at least a 38 to pass. To give you a real sense of what candidates are up against, try answering these actual exam questions right now. What does the phonetic alphabet O stand for? And what are the 3 elements of fire? Take a second. Do you have what it takes to pass this mental trial? Well, how'd you do? O stands for Oscar, and the 3 elements of fire are heat, oxygen, and fuel. If you nailed those, you're definitely on the right track. But keep in mind, you also have to memorize extensive radio codes, specific emergency numbers like 997 for the Dubai Civil Defense, and you've got to be heavily versed in emergency response and conflict management. For instance, SIRA literally expects you to know life-saving techniques backward and forward, like this first aid protocol, DRABCD. You need to know how to assess danger, check for a response, clear an airway, check breathing, monitor circulation, and use defibrillation. As a guard, you are expected to be the true first responder if things go wrong on site. Section 5, the ground reality, what life is actually like on the job. Okay, so you've passed the physical trials, aced the written exams, and you've finally got that license in hand. But what happens when you actually put on the uniform? Let's look at the recruitment dream versus the sobering reports from the ground. While international standards suggest an 8-hour workday, the reality for most security guards in the UAE is a grueling 12-hour shift. And housing? Regulations state a maximum of 6 people per room, but a lot of guards report cramped living spaces with 8 or even more people. Plus, despite legal requirements for companies to pay by the 7th of the month, delayed salaries are unfortunately a frequently reported reality. And beyond the long shifts in crowded rooms, there are these hidden daily challenges. Because accommodations are usually built far from the city center to save on rent, guards are facing 1 to 3 hour daily commutes in heavy traffic. That just eats into whatever downtime they have left. To make matters harder, cooking is often completely prohibited in these shared rooms. That forces guards to buy food outside, which significantly bumps up their daily expenses and drains those promised savings. On top of all that, vacation leave is often delayed by 2 to 6 months, career advancement is notoriously slow, and sadly, many guards are just too afraid to complain to authorities out of fear of getting fired or deported.
Which brings us to our final section. Is it really worth it? The final verdict.
After seeing the strict licensing, the physical demands, and those hidden daily costs, how do we actually weigh the outcomes here? It's a really delicate balance. On one side, you have the gains, right? A high, tax-free income that is mathematically impossible to achieve in their home countries. It gives them this profound ability to support extended families, build homes, and fund educations. But on the flip side, you have the sacrifices. A severe mental and physical toll from 12-hour shifts, brutal commutes, a highly restricted lifestyle and cramped quarters, and of course, prolonged separation from loved ones. For a lot of folks, sending thousands of dirhams back home is a life-changing triumph. But man, it comes at a steep personal cost.
So we'll wrap up this explainer by asking you to reflect on the immense sacrifices required to secure Dubai's booming skyline. Knowing the rigorous trials, the physical demands, and the often harsh daily realities of the job, would you take it? Thanks for joining me today, and keep questioning the world around you.